So you said there before about, your songs and how you write them. I kind of want to ask about, are these songs and the topics, are these based on your life, or are these kind of just good for a song, or they kind of wrote about experiences and real feeling?
Yeah, so like I would be quite a like prolific writer in the sense that I would write a lot of songs, and some of them are like absolutely crap, but they might be funny. But and some of them are obviously more close to my heart. But I always find that like so some of them might be like about a really emotional experience, and other ones might just be like something really random that I've exaggerated in my head and like made it sound like this bigger deal. And I always find that the ones that are really honest, really vulnerable, and like really are close to my heart are the ones that kind of resonate the most. And my old English teacher used to always say, write about what you know. And it's very true. Sometimes I try and write about things that like I don't have a direct experience with, and I can just tell that it's not coming across as authentic as the songs that I write about when I kind of have gone through it. But I kind of have this, it sounds like I have like all these issues, whatever, but I try and stay away from like kind of romantic songs just purely because I think it's been like sung about a lot and I don't know if I can necessarily add anything to it. So I do try and challenge myself to write about kind of other things. So I write like a lot about like friendship and kind of like ambition and like this kind of like Christmas song that we're doing as well. I'm sure we'll talk about later. It's kind of like a twist as well on like a lot of what I write about is also just like questioning life and like what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to be like. And one of my songs that I'm releasing early next year that Column's actually involved in as well is Don't Ask Me What I'm At. And it's literally like that whole like societal pressure, like why do you feel like you need to be at X at a certain age or a certain time? And it's just kind of breaking that down. So I kind of just, yeah, I like to break down things that are going on in my life, and also like I can see from talking to my friends or like colleagues, whatever, just kind of what's going on in their lives too. So I try to make it as resonant as possible. But yeah, I definitely feel like the songs I write that are about like bigger experiences in my life definitely go down better.
Yeah. Now, you said about your songs and you like writing sort of catchy songs. Now, that's how I would judge a good song. Now, I judge a good song by if I hear it once, am I walking about going, singing it to myself? Now, your songs are catchy as all hell. So
Thank you.
anyone, now I know I mentioned it in last week's episode, guys, and I did. I put Rowlette's links in the description of last week's episode. Go check them out again. They are in the description as always. But go listen to Cucumber and Ice and tell me you aren't singing that song all damn night after you hear it once. Like I put it on for my girlfriend in the car the other week, and all we've been singing is just that. It's just, like all day, just singing away at it.
Love it.
So good, it is so good. And
Thank
I wanted
you.
to ask, what was that just one that was more sort of off for fun, or was that wrote about someone?
So yeah, I think people thought it was a romantic song, but it actually wasn't. So I have my group chat with my college friends, special friends, and I said to them, I was like, "Girls, what would you like me to write a song about?" Because obviously I want songs that are resonant. And they said, "Write a song about us and how great we are." And I was like, "Okay, of course, that's what you want." But one of the girls said, "Write about how it's so random that we all met, because we were all kind of in different years in college, study different things. We're all from different parts of the country, but we still all like managed to form this like very cohesive group, and we're all so different to each other, like craziest A personalities, but we all get on so well." So she was like, "Write a song about how it's so weird that we all met," and I was like, "Okay." So that's kind of where the line in the first part of the course is, "I don't know how we met," which sounds like
But you're
like
sure
going back.
damn glad you did.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. You got it back to me. So it's just very much about how, like, because in college we used to have these days called rolling around days where like you go out at night and then the next day you'd spend the whole day just watching movies and eating chocolate and
Oh, hangover days,
whatever.
yeah.
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 So it was very much about like, you have your fun time friends that will like go out with you at night, but then these are like your friends that will be there for you the next day when you're like absolutely dying hungover or like just or like did stupid stuff the night before. And it was just I wanted it to be really fun because we have like a really fun group of friends, but also like in the course it's like you'll be there waiting for me with a Hendrix G&T, so it's cucumber and ice. So the idea is kind of like, they'll be there for you and they'll give you gin and tonic, but they'll also go to the extra effort of like cucumber and
Yeah.
ice, and we'll just go to kind of the ends of the earth for you when you need them. So it's kind of like the balance of, you're my fun time friend, but you're also like my lifelong friend.
Yeah.
That'll be there for me through
See, because
everything.
I think that's mad because, like, no, personally, I didn't get that from it. When I got it, it sounds like it's about someone. Like, it sounds like you're singing, in your case, a guy or girl, it sounds like a significant other you're singing it about
Yeah.
every line. But now you explain it like that, it does make sense that way. But for me, from the outside, I was like, that's a great song to sing, like, about someone, like, for
Yeah.
someone.
No, it's not. Yeah, and yeah, someone said to me it sounds like a one night stand or something. I was like, oh my god, that is like the complete opposite of what I'm trying to get across. But and that's one thing that I also find really hard is like I obviously have my meanings for songs, and then you put them out into the world and you hear that someone thinks that it's whatever. And but like as
Mhm.
someone, as my friend who I saw for the first time, she's like, you only own 50% of the song, and like what people take from the other half of the song is like just not up to you. And do you know what,
Yeah.
if people think that and they have someone in, because also I think you can project onto songs, so whatever you're
Yeah.
going through in the moment, you're kind of like,
See,
you'll
that's
start to, if
that's
you're
super
sad.
relevant to it is because now I don't know who actually quoted it. Kanye West quoted someone else, some other singer, but it was some other singer's lyrics that was, um, my story makes history, but it was like his story, and he was talking about like how no matter what you write a song about, people are always going to put their perception on that, and they're always going to look at it through some sort of tinted glasses. So like you can't, and as an artist then you feel like you can't change your image, or you can't write about a different topic because people then think you should be writing about that one topic, and it should be what they think it is and not what you think it is.
Yeah, and that like that is the thing. I think like you're probably like if you're listening with your girlfriend, you're probably like, oh, this is like you. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, and that's totally fair. I definitely like someone said to me before, if you're sad and like you'll start to take like the most deep meanings from the most trite pop songs
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, they just get it, like they just know, but it could be about something completely different. So I totally like, and I've learned to just accept that if I'm singing about my friends, someone might think I'm singing about, I don't know, a boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the same with my song Letters. Actually, that was about a friend, and it's genuinely only platonic relationship, but
Oh,
everyone assumes it's like this really deep love song. But I mean it in the most platonic love, in the sense of like, did I tell you that enough? As in, do you know that there's people here for you that care about you and
see
everything?
that
But
song. That song sounds like you're having some bad heartfelt problems about an ex boyfriend girlfriend. That like that's when I listen to that song, it's like I could see me with a bottle of whiskey at 3 a.m. just crying into a glass, like with that playing in the background, going, "It makes so much sense. I understand now." Like that's
yeah,
what it feels like.
and again, like that's how you, if you that's how you project on it, then that's like,
Yeah.
as long as someone can take some meaning for it. But it's funny because yeah, you just have to come to one of my gigs where I tell all my stories before all my songs.
Do you get up and explain them before you get into them as well?
I do, yeah, because well, it depends, but yeah, for that one in particular, I always would, just because I think it's it sets a good context, and I think also if
Yeah.
you tell the story, then people are kind of listening out more for the story.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, like that, it's about that, but whatever you're kind of projecting. But when I do tell the story, I often hear afterwards someone will come up to me and be like, oh my god, that's just like my friend who like moved to Canada, or that's just like my, and when they know the story, I suppose they listen, and maybe they just take that from it anyway. But like that, it just depends, I think, on your headspace and what your projection onto it. But then some people are like, it's not about that, you're definitely in love with them. I'm like, no, no. I'm like, if that helps you, then that's
Another
fine.
song I need to ask you about because it makes no sense. I can't work it out. Footprints on the Moon, and,
Mm-hmm.
and not the lyrics. Why has that been so popular? Now, Footprints on the Moon has over 70,000 streams on your Spotify, which is probably
Yeah,
what, like 10 times, 15 times some of your other songs.
yeah.
Was that just like release radar? Like what the hell happened there?
Yeah, it got on a few playlists. So New Music Friday, Fresh Pop, and Pop Right Now. So that just like completely elevated
Yeah.
it. So I was like, I just get on playlists every time. But it kind of highlighted I suppose, how unimportant the playlists are, because like you get loads of views and you get loads of likes on the song, and like kind of it seems like the magic bullet for a lot of artists, and it's definitely helpful in terms of get more streams and you get more likes on your songs, but it doesn't really translate into actual fans. And that's like kind of because you kind of assume it will, but then I'm like, well, when I listen to playlists, it's very, very passive. You know, you have it on the background, you sing along, and like there's some playlists I'd listen to regularly, and I'd get to know like some of the songs, and then they get switched out. But like I'm not looking for that song then a month later. I just forget about it forever. And it's good like in the sense of like it's kind of like a radio or whatever. But like that, even when you listen on the radio, you only maybe like one song every now and again. You'll be like, oh wow, that's really good. So it definitely highlighted to me like they're great, but it's really not the answer in terms of. And then there'll be other songs that I would say have done probably better, but don't have as many streams. But have gotten more like, I suppose, like real, like what you really want to sound that when people hear it, they'll like latch on and be like, oh, I really like that artist, and then want to hear more and everything. So yeah, it was definitely the playlist that elevated it, and it did help, and it did bring up my streams for a good while. But yeah, it's not the magic bullet.
It's not a long-term fix for the music.
Definitely.
No.
Yeah, unless they want to playlist all my songs all the time. And then,
Then it's fine. Then you can do it all the time.